Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today I'm going to go through how to clean and look after my gun. Because a lot of people in the comments have said, I'm getting into shooting for the first time, and there isn't much out on YouTube about how to look after and clean your gun. The first thing I'm going to say is most people don't think about this. When you buy your first gun, think about servicing your gun at least once a year. It's the same as a car. You service a car once a year, service a gun once a year. Because otherwise, all the little things like top lever springs, firing pins, they can go. They can go at a matter of a second. So a gun really needs to be serviced once a year. And if you walk into where you bought your gun from or your local shooting school, most proper shooting schools have got a gunsmith and they will service the gun for you. An average service will cost between £100 and £150 per gun, depending on what they have to do and what the gun is. We've actually got what we have at Oxford Gun Company. In actual fact, at the Oxford Gun Company, my sister actually came up with an idiot's guide to how to clean a gun and a step-to-step guide of cleaning your gun. So if anyone does want this, we can send this out to you in the post at all to help you with your purchase. Or obviously I am going to follow this, exactly how my sister did it on here, exactly how I'm going to follow this, and I'm going to show you within the film. Kit that I'm going to use. I've got a Bisley cleaning kit, which retails at about 50 to £60. And within this cleaning kit, it has got the rod, it's got the two different brushes. Again, this is the brush that you put down first to get rid of all the crud when you finish shooting. This is the brush that you polish with it. So this is called a Foster's bronze brush, and this is just called a mop brush. It's then got gun oil and ball cleaner. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't really use ball cleaner as much. Gun oil is really the one you will use the most. It's got its patches and it's got its cloth. The only thing I would add to this is the gun oil. I would add a normal spray, because I'm going to say the drip ones are not particularly fantastic. But Browning do a leisure spray with a spray lid on the top, and they are a lot better to use than the drip ones. I would add a toothbrush. Again, you can go to your wife or your girlfriend, nick her old toothbrush and use it, and there's a reason why I have that, so I'd add an old toothbrush in there, and I will show you why you have a toothbrush. And I'd also add an oily rag. So the new one is great, but this is an oily rag. It's only got a little bit of oil on it. So you want to add something like that to it as well. I've picked a Yieldits Pro to go through, strip down, and show you how to clean the whole thing. So the first thing I will do is I look at the barrels, and you can always see the bits down the barrels from where people have shot it. And that is what we are trying to get out. Every gun will come with a choke key. I have actually made one, or this is again in my father's. We've made a little ratchet there that you can get chokes out easily. So the first thing you want to do is close the gun up and take the chokes out. Now again, when you're taking the chokes, you don't have to take the chokes out every single time you clean it, because really you should clean the majority of the gun every time you use it. The steel that's made from the gun does rust very, very quickly, especially in weather like it is outside today. It's raining, so you get hot, cold, and the barrels will rust if you're not careful. Taking them out, and then I take the gun apart. Fore end goes down there, push the gun across there. I put my barrels there. I put my top lever back across. So I take my guns first, I put my Foster Bronze brush down there, give it a good polish like that in both barrels. And then I put this down and just polish it out like that. And then I look down here and the barrels are clean as pristine, like they are new. And you can get the barrels to looking like, if you do it every time, your gun will stay new. I've got an oily rag, so I don't need to use a lot of oil. A lot of people do put too much oil on their guns. And the problem is, if you put too much oil on their guns, the oil seeps down there and it seeps into the wood, and eventually what you'll do is you'll rot the wood. So it's a little bit of oil. If you shoot it a lot, all you do, little squirt in there, little squirt around the action, like that. You get your toothbrush, and you polish that, and that will get all the marks out, even in here. And the toothbrush is the best thing because it gets in all the little nooks and crannies in there. And then you get your cloth and you wipe that off across there. And that should come up really shiny, just like it is new, like that. And then I squirt just a little bit of oil on the chokes. That will get, if you do that just very quickly, that will get all the crud out of the chokes, and then you polish it with your cloth, and then the same with the other one. And again, you polish it like that. So that's the chokes done. I then take the forend, and again, I do exactly the same thing. Little bit of oil in there. Again, I can't say it enough. You do not need a lot of oil. All you need is a very, very fine bit of oil. Too many people put too many oils on their gun, and when it comes to the wood, it doesn't do the wood any good. Then I'll take the action, and again, little spray in there, and I push that down like that, and this gets all of the marks off of the face of the gun. And then again, I wouldn't necessarily put too much oil on the outside of the metalwork. You've got enough oil on your little oily rag. And just wipe that all off like that. I then put the gun back together again. And again, all I do is stand it like that and just do a little bit of oil like that. And I polish the gun right up here, give it a real good polish, and this is the bit that rusts, if any bit's going to rust. And then I put it back onto the floor, and I put the chokes back into the gun. And again, when you screw the chokes back in, they don't need to be really tight. They just need to be finger tight. Just like that. They don't need to be stupidly tight. If you over tighten them, you'll never get the chokes out. If you don't take the chokes out every few times you clean it, the chokes will weld themselves in, because what they do is they get all the gunk in there and they weld themselves in. If you look at a lot of shooting school guns, a lot of them, the chokes will be welded in because nobody's taken the chokes out. So really the chokes have to come out sort of once a month, something like that. and then you look down the barrels, you look at that, that's got all the marks off of there. You will find that you'll get marks on here. If you don't clean it with a toothbrush and polish that or that, you will get the marks in there. And that is how you clean your gun every time after use. I know a lot of people don't, but it should be cleaned every time. The only time, which it can be, I will do in a future video, you can look after your stock. Where's a pot called Trade Secret, which is a wax that you can put on, and that will keep your stock watertight and polished. Same with the forend as well. And that is how you look after and you clean your gun. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please comment below if you feel I've missed anything out, or please comment below if you felt this helpful and useful. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please don't forget, we have the Austin Masters on this month, and we have the Browning Challenge on this month. So 2 great competitions at 2 great grounds, Oxford Gun Company and Austin Shooting Grounds. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Don't forget, go onto our website to get your merchandise discount. We have all sorts of different discounts on there for SWATCOM, for the rest of our sponsors, and for our own merchandise. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.